Okay, let's get into this then. We've got to start off with the whole Isak situation that's going on right now after the statement that was made last night during the Rangers game. I was planning on coming here doing the video just purely on Rangers and the result last night and the performance, and we'll get into it. But Isak obviously releasing a statement last night. It's a big talking point. It's been the saga of the summer, and it's got messy. It's got messy to say the least. Just quickly on my thoughts on it all. I feel as if no, do you know what? We'll read out Isak a little part of Isak's statement first, and I want to read out Newcastle's statement because I think it plays a part in terms of everything that's going on. And look, it's all business, isn't it? It's all absolute business. I don't want to talk about Isak's first part of the statement where he's on about not being at the PFA Awards. Just want to say what he said at the end of the statement, right? So, we know, he says, "I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors." First of all, on that, if you've not got it in writing, Isak and his agent, then nothing's going to happen. We all know how it works. If there's no writing and there's no proof there, then nothing's going to happen. So, mistake on your guy's part. If you don't have that, I get it. Like, the way the world should work is, yeah, like, we shook hands on it. You said you would do it. We all know that's not what happens, especially in business and at this high end of a deal that's potentially going on. The reality is promises were made and the club has known position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. Signed off by Isak. So it's his second to last card he can really play. His last card is putting in a transfer request, which people say, why doesn't he just do that? He forfeits apparently things like loyalty bonuses and money that he would get from Newcastle. Don't know if that's actually true, and to be honest, I think I can think back to Wayne Rooney handing in a transfer request to Man United. Like, what does it really mean? It's the same thing as putting that statement out there without probably a chance of losing any of your dough. So, look, Newcastle, let's be honest, Newcastle have been real shambles behind the scenes this summer. They haven't been able to get anyone in that they look to get in. It doesn't seem like they've done a lot of groundwork on anyone. They just assumed being back in the Champions League and winning the Cup and stuff would be enough for them to get these players in. And they've lost out on the likes of João Pedro, Brian and Buemo, blah, blah, blah. So I think, first of all, the issue they're in now is they're probably looking around going, we do not have an adequate replacement for Isak's level. Absolutely get it, fully understand. We don't want to let him go because we do not have a level of a player of him. And let's be honest, bar Haaland out there, there's probably not another level of that striker out there at the moment, right? So I totally get that. But for me, they've got themselves into the situation now where they're not going to be able to find that quality player. They went in for Sesko last minute, even though they knew he was off to Manchester United. They went in for Ekitike, and it seems like the outside looking in and what everyone's saying, it seems as if Liverpool went, oh, okay, you're interested in Ekitike. It must mean that maybe you're interested in selling Isak. And then Liverpool have come and taken Ekitike from them because Newcastle have gone, he's not for sale. And Liverpool have probably thought Ekitike was maybe the future longer term idea. Well, we'll have him then if you're not gonna give us Isak. And Ekitike's picked Liverpool, over Newcastle, for the same reasons that Sesko chose Man United over Newcastle, right? And particularly Liverpool are even stronger with being Premier League champions. So Newcastle have not also themselves handled this transfer window very well at all, and I think they have to play a little bit of a part in this to blame. I'm not talking about what Isak's doing and down in tools and everything like that. At the end of the day, it's not right. We've seen it before. I was chatting to Jack Fish, who's a Newcastle fan. He sent me a hilarious voice note last night. He said to remind me of a situation was Carlos Tevez, right? Under Mancini. Mind when Tevez refused to play, refused to come off the bench, went away and played golf, got told to come back, ends up coming back, makes an apology, gets in there, helps him get to the league title. So it's not the first time that that's happened for a player, right? And, Newcastle fans are taking this kind of high and mighty stand of like, let him rot in the reserves and stuff like that. Again, I've said this a million times. I've been there, particularly with Coutinho. We had it with Suarez. We had it with Torres. Again, even Steven Gerrard at the time looking to go to Chelsea. Trent this season going to Real Madrid, right? You do feel that way, but look, ultimately, unfortunately, guys, you have to build yourselves up to a level, and until you get yourself consistently at the high end of the level where you're winning the league and the Champions League and stuff, these guys are always going to want to go. Whoever the next guy is that you're going to get in, he's going to still want to go. So I think on Newcastle's part, it's been poor behind the scenes, and it's not helped this situation at all for them or for Isak, obviously. And again, what Isak's doing and how he's going about it isn't correct. Whether something was said or not, like I said, nothing's on paper, so that's out the window, unfortunately, Isak and your agent. On Liverpool's side of things, I get what they're trying to do. They want to come out of it business wise. Business is about perception, right? Like I've noticed that doing this stuff, and people have started to ask me to do some editing or filming for certain things, and I've had a few meetings with people. And you have the conversation, it all sounds great, blah blah blah. You go through it, and then you say, "Well, this is what it's going to cost you." And people are kind of a bit like, "Oh, I heard you did this for free for this guy." Because when you're starting out with things like this, you do it for free to get a bit of reputation out there and get yourself going. But what happens is now your reputation is he does it for free. So then when you start to ask for money, people kind of look at you and go, "That's not really what I was expecting here." So your perspective and your positioning 100% matters, and Liverpool always position themselves in the power of strength, right? All the PR about the deals that they do, the sales that they do, it's all everyone's like, wow, amazing, 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 whether fully true or not. But Liverpool always position themselves in a place of power, and they're wanting to do the same thing here. Quite honestly, if we've bid, let's say, the 120 that apparently was reported, and Newcastle want 150, and Liverpool really want Isak, and the feeling that Liverpool aren't going to do too much business probably for the next couple of years. They've done a lot, and that's it, probably sorted. Just go pay the 150. I don't think it shows weakness in your part at all from that side of thing. Go pay the 150. You get the player, you get the striker. We get probably the best striker in the league just behind Haaland and in Europe. Gives you a chance to continue to get Premier League titles. Newcastle get the 150 in their back pocket. But I think the problem is now, has it gone too late for Newcastle to even accept that? Because the replacements right now is going to be Vissa. Also, Newcastle fans on the whole Isak side of things and how bad he's been. You guys did the same thing to Anthony Gordon. You troubled him at Everton. There's a bit of a problem there. The fans started to want to push him out. And Vissa is not quite going as far, but is doing similar things as Isak. Just training by himself, taking stuff down off social media. Like, okay, it's not as bad as Isak. It's not as far, but it's not as big a deal, right? It's not a big deal. It's not 150 million. So look, it's the same things are happening around you. So you can be all high and mighty, and you're buzzing when you got Anthony Gordon. You'll be kind of happy, I guess, if you get Vissa. Everybody does it. Everybody does it, and everyone's back and forth. Like Rooney and Shearer were talking about it on Match of the Day. Wayne Rooney handed his transfer question, like I said, at Manchester United, and didn't act greatly. Okay, he still said he went and trained and everything like that. Fair, but you still handed the transfer question. You still caused problems, and you wanted to leave. Michael Owen, that famous tweet about Alan Shearer when he got on the bench and said that he wanted to go to Liverpool apparently when they were in for him. And so everyone's going to be a bit of a hypocrite in this situation. But just ultimately, I think Liverpool just stump up the 150 and just go get him. And if Liverpool don't want to stump up the 150, that's fine. Like, does Eddie Howe even really want him? There and around, he's going to have to deal with those questions every single week. He's going to have to deal with the question, when is Isak coming back into the fold? Is Alexander Isak training with the squad? Is this, is that? There's just a whole cloud over the whole thing, unless he comes right back in, which would be a massive U-turn, and he potentially absolutely will do. And as soon as he comes back in and starts scoring goals, and it's all kind of forgotten about. But if he doesn't, it's just a cloud over Newcastle. If Newcastle don't score goals, if they miss chances in games, and he's just sat rotting away there, well, you've got Isak in the reserves where you bring him back in. It's going to be a constant thing all season. I don't think Eddie Howe really wants that, right? I think I've been watching Eddie Howe talk about it, and he's very political, and he's very kind of like doesn't say too much. I get a feeling from him that deep down he's about the squad, he's about the group, as you should be as a good top level manager. I think he's honestly thinking, fucking sell him. Sell him, let's get the money in, and they should have done it a bit earlier, and then we can reinvest it, and we can get 2 or 3 guys in to try and make up for it, right? And I know that doesn't always work with your quality. We've seen Spurs do that with the Gareth Bale money. It doesn't always work like that, I know that, but I don't think Eddie Howe wants him. I remember coaching, and parents were constantly like, taking their kids to try out here and there and trying to like play me off a little bit. But like, well, we've done a tryout there, and they've offered us like, he can play striker all the time, like stupid little shit like that. And I used to be like, great, go ahead. Like, if you're being like that, you don't really want to be here, and I don't want to have to deal with you in the season when things aren't going what you think is your way for your kid. I'm gonna have to deal with that, and no, we're not doing that. Like, just go. So I think Eddie Howe will be in the frame of going. I think it's a bit of posturing from Newcastle to A, get the money they want, and B, it just shows that behind the scenes they're just a bit of a shambles, and also kind of a bit egotistical. They don't want to feel like they're being walked over. And again, I get it. I've been there. It's fucking annoying. It's shit. But it's something you're gonna have to go through, Newcastle fans. Yeah, what did you think? You're just gonna sail straight back to the top? Like, it's just not how it works, unfortunately. So that's it on that. Let's see how it plays out. I think the closer we get, obviously, to the end of the window, the less likely I am that it happened. I've seen a lot of people saying, and I've even maybe mentioned it, oh, I think it'll get done after the Liverpool game. And then I heard a Liverpool fan make a good point. Well, if Liverpool beat Newcastle on Monday night and then a couple of days later they announce the sale of Isak, they've just beaten you and you've sold him. That's worse PR for Newcastle. If anything, you'd be better selling him at the weekend if you're going to do it just before the game. Obviously, if Liverpool come in with the bid that they want before the game, don't play him. It's a bear pit anyway. You get your fans behind you. These fuckers have come in and settled this guy and stolen from us and are making it hard for us. And you make St James's even more of a bear pit than it's already going to be on Monday night. That's the way I would go about it if I was Newcastle and they're willing to sell and if Liverpool put the money up that they want. But hey ho,